Hello, I am back today with another update, a pretty sizable one. There's a couple kind of like miscellaneous changes, but the big one is definitely Hungary. Hungary got its coup. If you remember last time, if you watched that video, Romania got its coup and Bulgaria got its coup. So now these guys can join the Comintern, and that's how it is in this situation as well. Don't mind this. This is just something I've cooked up really quick in a 1939 start date, just with cheats and stuff. So, of course, not everything is accurate, and the 1939 start date has a lot of errors anyway, just in vanilla Hoi 4. But anyway, I've set this up because I wanted to show kind of the scenario for Hungary when all of these operations happen. There's two operations. There's Operation Margarethe and there's Operation Panzerfaust. These were relatively bloodless operations. The first one occupied Hungary. The second one couped their government. Finally got rid of Horthy. And since I don't really want to show that naturally because these events will fire when certain conditions are met, and one of those is like casualties and stuff, and there's not really a way for me to cheat casualties, I'm just going to spawn the events, but I'll still show you how it would take place, and we're going to show you that right now. The other main thing is the addition of Egypt and Sudan, and then also changes to the Balkans. That is changes to Albania, changes to Montenegro. Their colors were changed, their flags were changed, and their leaders were changed for both Italian control and whenever the Italians die and the Germans get control. So we'll show all that off. But first of all is definitely Hungary. You may also notice everything looks a little bit different. This isn't the mod. This is a separate mod of mine called Red Hoi 4, which recently got an update, so I thought I would try it out just to show you guys. If you're interested, there'll be a link. Look at this like blood red subtle ocean. I think it's really cool. But if it's not for you, no problem. It's not, like I said, it's not in the main mod, so no worries. But we are going to start off. We are going to tag to Hungary and show you the event that you would get when the first operation happened. All right, here we go. It is Horthy ringing us up, and this usually would happen when the Soviets are getting close, or Romania is already dead, stuff like that, and Hungary has suffered enough casualties. And it's Horthy wants negotiations to exit the war. With its height of war turning against the Axis, Regent Miklos Horthy has begun to doubt Germany's ability to win the conflict. Fearing the destruction of Hungary and the rise of Soviet influence, Horthy wants negotiations from the Allied powers. So what this does is this sends an event to whoever is the leader of the Allied faction, pretty much. And that happens to be the UK right now in this scenario. So we're going to click this. Shocking, it's the exact same. It just says, excellent, Germany is crumbling. As of now, there's no option to resist this. In the future, I'll add an option to resist this, so resist Operation Marguerite for Panzerfaust. But for now, it just plays out historically. I know it's disappointing, but I just wanted to show this video because it has been a little bit. I didn't want to delay it anymore. So now Germany gets this event. Same shit, but different description this time. We found out there's a fair chance Hungary will try to get out of this war. We need to occupy them to prevent this. Again, this is empty because there's no like alternative choice for now, but just don't worry about that. Move in. This occupies them, makes them a satellite, so they're like the lightest sort of puppet. Horthy's still in charge, at least as regent, and the name changes. I might change this to something else, but it's kind of hard fixing puppet code like this. I don't know. But yes, and they also get this spirit that will last as long as the occupation does, called German occupation. Gives some fascism support and hurts them a little bit. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, the Soviet occupation was also buffed in the way that it hurts a country, so it hurts more to be occupied by the Soviets now. But yeah, that is Operation Margarethe. If Horthy is still in power after this, and they lose more territory, they start actually losing Hungarian territory, he will try again. Oh, before I forget, here is the event that Hungary gets when Germany occupies them. Suspicion from Germany has led to an occupation by German forces. Horthy is still not stepping down, but our ability to leave the war and act on our own is hampered. I don't know why I screamed on that, but it's okay. Now here's the event when the Soviets are still closing in. If you still have Horthy, you're going to get this event. Horthy announces armistice with the Soviets. Despite current Axis occupation, Horthy has announced on the radio that he has signed an armistice with the Soviet Union. Uh-oh, not good. So you click this and Germany will get an event. So this is the event that Germany will get whenever they find out about this bullshit. Just joking, obviously. If I was in Hungary's position, I'd probably do the same thing. But despite current Axis occupation, and Horthy has announced on the radio, same thing. Coup them now. So you click that, it'll coup them. And they will get the event. So here we go. Operation Panzerfaust, the Germans have couped us. We've now been replaced by the Arrow Cross Party, and Horthy has been captured. And there you go, and some things have changed. Ooh la la. Look at that color. Let's get a thumbnail. That looks good. Now it's starting to look like an actual mod. These colors and font actually help quite a bit. But again, that's the Red Holy 4 submod. There we go. Government of National Unity. There we go. We have this guy in power, the LARPer. Very neat. Aerocross Party this is renamed the Aerocross Party. And we are Reichskommissariat. Our color has been drained, just like our autonomy has. And it's not looking the best for Hungary right now. So hope you guys like that. Again, there's some more stuff I want to add to that. I do want to add the ability to revolt against the Germans and do the same as Romania and Bulgaria. I also want to add an event for Operation Margarethe 2, which would be towards Romania, I believe. So Germans can full on get like an operational bonus against the Romania to try to stop the coup and stuff like that. But that'll come later on. I just wanted to show you. But now we're going to move on to the puppets in the Balkans. Alrighty, so we are back in 1936. As you can see, there's a lot less errors in 1936 compared to the 1939 start date. Now you might kind of get an idea as to why the 1943 start date is going to take a while. But I wanted to just hop back into 1936 because we're just going to kind of cheese this. I'm not going to set up a whole scenario just to show you this. But I'm going to show you like sort of just how it goes. Did Greece, there we go. And now we're going to reorganize the Yugoslav area. And notice what changed about the Albanian puppet and the Montenegrin puppet. There you go. As you can see, they both have a green tint to them. Albania much more so for, I believe, pretty obvious reasons. But also Montenegro has a little green tint as well. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty slight, but it is there. I'll pop up a picture of normal Montenegro and Albania if I can. But yeah, pretty neat. Their names received the change as well. We got Regno de Albania. There we go. And then Governato del Montenegro. And this guy got his portrait changed because that was quite a bad portrait. And I kept this the same. It's a very nice portrait. But I did change the flags. I'm not sure if Albania was correct before. It might have been, but I know that Montenegro was incorrect. But this has been changed. That's the Fascist Italy Albanian flag. And then this is just a normal Montenegrin flag, which is how it was as far as I can tell during Italian occupation. So, very neat, but there is more because we'll just hop into Italy real quick and do a little coup of them. There we go. As you can see, they changed. They changed. Now their color is still faded compared to normal colors, but now they're mixed with gray because Germany has taken control of them. Same is true of Greece, by the way. But Germany has now taken control of all of these Italian puppets because Italy is collapsing. Of course, it doesn't really look like it here because look how small that civil war is, but forget about it. So now Albania is changed to its German name, and they have their own little German guy in charge. He's not German, of course. Look at that guy. He's Albanian, but this is the guy they had in charge. Rexhep Mitrovica, something like that. And there you go. There's the name. Faded pinkish purple color mixed with gray. And then we have occupied Montenegro. And this is controlled by just a German general. This is more of just a normal occupation. Kind of similar to what I've shown you before in Macedonia. And these are also going to be updated for the Uncensored Flags mod, along with everything else I've added, like this as well and other stuff. So the Uncensored Flags will be used for this guy. But overall, very neat. It's a nice change, but it's more consistent with the other arcades that I would have right here. They're also a faded color, and it's nice to give more leaders for the German ones, for once they become German, I mean. And now, two more things I want to show you, but only one major one, so you don't have to watch the very last one. But this is the last major one. It is, I have made changes to Africa. I've made starting changes to Africa. So now, we have two new countries here. We have Anglo-Egyptian Sudan and the Kingdom of Egypt. You might notice the Kingdom of Egypt is not the same color as the UK. That's kind of to show their autonomy from the UK. They are basically independent, but not de facto. They're still controlled by Britain, and so to show that, I have made them the closest to independent you can, which is a dominion. So they are now a dominion of the crown. I changed this state around, the Suez state, to be way smaller, just for, I think, obvious reasons, for realism's sake. And I changed the border with Sudan. This actually was very contentious to the point where I was like legitimately worried for some of you people. I'm going to explain this right now, and I'm not going to go back on it. Don't argue with me about it. I don't know why it was such a big deal to people. It's just sand. But this is a de facto border. This is how it was. understand that Anglo-Egyptian Sudan is half Egyptian, but it was mostly controlled by the British. And I understand that the 1899 treaty makes this line the border, all the way down. But in 1902, they gave control to Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, this area. And it's a whole thing. I made a community post about it. One of the guys didn't even know that this was a 1936 map. He thought it was a modern day map. And that was after like 10 messages fighting with him. And by the way, he used ChatGPT for his argument, like to write his actual replies. But yeah, after all of that talking, he finally revealed that he didn't even know what was going on. He thought this was a modern day map. Which, if it was a modern day map, then we can have a more serious discussion about this. But in 1936, it was different. I had another person say, oh, he was actually right. And just go on and on and on. But listen, I'm doing de facto. I don't care that Egypt legally owned this. World War II wasn't legal, but it still happened. This was controlled by Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. I know some people would say, this is Egypt. This is Egypt. This is Egypt. It's not. It's under control mostly by Britain. But anyway, I could talk about that for a long time. I was very surprised that all of that caused that much of a fuss. Or such a little thing caused such. I know that legally it was Egypt's, but de facto it was controlled, that's the key word, controlled by Anglo-Egyptian Sudan. I know some people would say, well, Sudan was basically Egyptian. You shouldn't even have this as a country. But I didn't want to, just because, first of all, it just feels better like this, and then second of all, I wanted to show them being owned primarily by Britain. I did still do the thingy here where I gave them resource rights. I actually added resources here because Sudan didn't have any resources. I searched it up. This seemed fair. But now Britain has resource rights to that, so that's how they get their stake. And I'm still thinking about what national spirit out of the both. But I didn't want Egypt to own this territory just because, I mean, you can debate with me all you want, but in my opinion, it's better to show them separate. And I've seen it separate on a whole bunch of maps and a whole bunch of programs. It's not that crazy. And I have also given them a national spirit to really hurt them here so that they don't cause as much lag. This just like takes away all their political power, takes away their manpower, makes it so they can't train divisions, can't build anything, can't make anything. That way the AI can't do that. And you will have less lag. I also have a custom flag or a custom leader. It's nothing special, of course. It's a fucking symbol. Anglo-Egyptian occupation. Very basic. I did not change this guy's portrait because he's already in the game, but I might change it just for consistency's sake. But yeah, people were very angry about this up. So much of a fuss. It is cool. I also added this little thing. I forget what it's called, but it kind of basically goes on this river and a little bit on the east bank of this river. And it's just for accuracy's sake. But yeah, that's Egypt. In my testing, the UK still defends this. I will try to make that better. It is having some problems, but I'm pretty sure I know the way to fix it, so don't worry about that. And this still works out pretty well. So that's Egypt. I'm sorry I yapped about arguing and stuff like that in the comments. Please don't argue in this one. I've already said my piece. I'm probably not going to respond to you if you have the same opinion as those other people I was talking about, just because I've gone through this before, and you can just read through my replies to them if you really want to know my opinion, and you can fight ghosts that way. But that's all for Africa. And the last thing I want to show you is Vatican Changes. The Vatican City is nearing completion of the focus tree. We are getting there. You can see they have a new national spirit now, the Pontifical Swiss Guard. They have an actual focus that spawns an army now, which is nice. And their focus tree got a pretty big change. It has all of this now. Of course, this is all obviously under construction. But it's because, as the Vatican City, you're the smallest country in the world. There's not much to do. And I can't really do industrial trees because I mean, come on. So instead, I've decided to fill some of these time gaps with trait building. Ooh. So when you first get your pope, you won't have many traits, but you can just go through this pope depending on what pope you have. This is the Polish pope. This is the first pope you get. This is the second pope you get in history. This is the Milan archbishop, and you can just go through and grab traits for them, which give you little buffs. And there's things to work on in the meantime. That way, I don't have to kind of stretch this out with like things that don't even really make a lot of sense, which was a real possibility, believe me. And so yeah, these just give traits. These aren't done. Mostly just this guy's done. But that will work for all of them. this has gotten a lot of love. There are a couple of events that still need to be done, but for the most part, it's doing quite well. You have an event right here. We have new ideas that you gain, which is very nice. Here's a Swiss Guard that you get spawned in. Events right here, and then you have a choice right here what you want to do. You get an event right here, Worried Cardinals. This helps you get to here quicker if you want to do the fascist route, or not fascist, but like, you know, the axis aligning route. Or if you want them longer, you can do other cool stuff like hurt Germany and Italy through their Catholic population, kind of turn them against them just a bit. And then also you actually get the boost the New World Catholics, the New World countries that are very Catholic. I put the most Catholic ones here, but there's definitely more I could add. I could do all of them, really. They get also a bonus, and this is just for a certain amount of time, but still pretty cool. And then now, once the Pope dies, you get this news event, which actually has text now, and you get this leader instead. It's no leader. Before it was a generic one. I thought no problem because you do the next focus instantly, right? But the next focus takes some time, and then also it takes some time to actually pick the Pope. So in the meantime, I put this here. One of the Italian people in our Discord wrote down the name for this. I'm hoping it's right, but I trust him. But yeah, very nice. And then once you pick your Pope, you get to go down his tree and then pick your options. This was also changed up a little bit. Instead of actually just allying with the Italians, which seems kind of unreasonable for any Pope, even ones that are kind of axis aligning, now you get couped instead. So you being a little bit more open to the Axis, instead of making that lead to you joining them, it leads to you being vulnerable to a coup. And this is the path for being a puppet, and this is the path for straight up being annexed, and forgetting about the whole Papal States, Vatican sovereignty thing. But this has gotten a lot of love. I'm excited to release this and try to do a world conquest with it. Of course, that would be a fun video to do for 1,000 subscribers, which I got recently. Overall, I believe that is all I want to show you. So, wrapping up, we had the operations in Hungary that were added, similar to all these other Balkan countries. So now all of these three have content for that. These were changed quite a bit. We have Albania with a new leader, Montenegro with a new leader. The same is true for the Italian ones. They have new flags and new names and colors, depending on who's controlling them, Italy or Germany, which is very neat. And then Egypt was added, along with Anglo-Egyptian Sudan, to show that it's separate. And Sudan is testing out this little debuffed colony modifier so that we don't get lag from these new countries that don't matter. But anyway, that is about it. The last thing I want to say is, again, if you like this look here, check out Red Hoi 4. It's a little sub mod, and you can try these out. It goes nicely with this mod, I think. I like the red. It's pretty cool, in my opinion. But yeah, that's about it. And the next video will probably be the final showcase of the Vatican, and then we should be pretty much set to release this update. Like I said, it was a smaller one, but the Vatican tree is nice. The addition of this is nice, and all of the work in the Balkans is pretty nice in my opinion. So still is a good chunky bit, but it is the smallest one out of the three if you've seen the roadmap. I'll put the roadmap up on the screen right now. So after this is released, we will be jumping into the peace deal, the post-war world, and also the uprising mechanics. So that's going to be very exciting. So stay on the lookout for that. I hope you enjoyed this. That's about it. See ya.